You are now listening to Night at the Ram Table, and this is an audio review of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. I'm Sam.
I'm Ray.
I'm Will.
And we have our special guest here tonight.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And we hope you enjoy our audio review. Alright, so what did everybody think of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle?
Okay, so my impressions when I saw the trailer when it first came out, I thought I'm gonna hate this movie, especially seeing Jack Black playing a woman and seeing him get munched by a hippopotamus. You know, I was like, okay, this is all fakey and stupid and everything. But honestly, I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised by this movie. I laughed more than I thought I did. I actually, there was times when Jack Black's character, I actually saw him in that girl Bethany, and I didn't really see him, over the top. He played a girl, but he wasn't over the top. And Kevin Hart's kind of character you kind of take or leave. I didn't believe his character from the character as the high school student to the backpacking guy. He seemed a little bit more outrageous than what he was. The Rock, I thought he played okay. He still played like an awkward guy, because his main character was a little nerdy guy. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the movie was going to be pure trash, and you make it into a video game. I kind of understand because it's a different generation, even though Parker Brothers still makes board games. But I guess more generations plays with video games and stuff like that. So I didn't mind that new twist. Unfortunately, I thought this movie, it was okay. I didn't think they had to call it Jumanji. Could have called it something else. People would have walked out of the movie saying this kind of rip off of Jumanji, but it could have held its own without the title name. I think they used that just to help sell tickets and try to get word, buzzword, word of mouth out there to the audience. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Ditto. Nah, just playing it. This movie was made for today's generation. I mean, I agree with Ray. When I saw the trailer to this movie, I was like, man, this movie's gonna suck. I'm gonna kill it every chance I get. Surprisingly, this movie was actually pretty funny. It actually made me laugh. Once again, Kevin Hart, you take him as you leave him. He plays the same guy from his stand-up concerts to the movies he's in. He's just Kevin Hart. You like him or you hate him. The Rock, I like the way The Rock did it. Jack Black, if you know me, I cannot stand. I think he's a crappy actor. Okay, but in this movie, I thought he actually did pretty good. The only thing that I was debating on through the whole movie is that because I agree with Ray. There was times I saw him as the girl, as Bethany. So I want to give him credit for that. But like I said, I like his performance in this movie, which is very surprising because I think the guy cannot act for shit. But he was good in this movie. Once again, overall, I think the movie could stand on its own. It doesn't need to be called Jumanji. They did it, that's great. You can't compare these two movies. The original Jumanji is, a great movie. This movie I thought was also a great movie. So,
My whole thing on the movie, I have to agree with the other two. Here is that when I first saw the trailer as well, I thought, oh, great, this is another Rock movie. It's not going to be good. And everybody's just going to float out of the water. But after actually watching it, surprisingly, I did laugh. I did find it funny. Jack Black's role, I thought it was hilarious because you never really get to see him in that kind of role. Karen Gillan, I love her. I'm just saying that when I saw her in Doctor Who, when I saw her in Guardians of the Galaxy, I just love her as an actress. So I think she did an awesome job playing her role as the kind of awkward little teenage girl coming into a character who's, a little bit more revealing physically and also, who's pretty much a kick-ass woman. But yeah, I really did like a lot of them. The Rock's character, of course, I don't know, it was kind of a bit of a hit and miss. I was kind of meh about it. Kevin Hart, I do not care for Kevin Hart. I'm sorry, I cannot stand him. I just find him really annoying, but in this movie, he was kind of okay. He was actually pretty decent. I never want to give any of his stand-ups a chance or anything else because I just think he's plain annoying. But seeing him in this movie, it was okay, hit and miss, kind of take it or leave it, as you guys said. But other than that, it really altogether was not that bad of a movie.
Like everyone else, I was not looking forward to this film when I saw the trailer. The trailer kind of threw me off. You know, it was all action-packed, and it was just... I know what you're getting with someone like Kevin Hart and Jack Black, so I already kind of expected the worst from that aspect. I didn't like that the game, like the movie, kind of took away the actual fear of like dying compared to like the original movie was. But that's just from the trailer. You know, you can only tell so much from a trailer. Now, actually watching the film, I'm actually surprised that I actually don't hate it. It was pretty enjoyable for the most part. But you know, one of my problems is that, you know, a lot of the actors they get in this movie, you know, they're not known for being the best actors, in my opinion. Dwayne Johnson, we know as The Rock. He's, you know, I like him in some movies, but he always plays The Rock, and there's not much more he can do about that. So I just saw him as The Rock still. Jack Black, I like some of his movies, but here I do kind of agree. I kind of saw him more as the character than Jack Black, but I still see Jack Black as playing Jack Black. Kevin Hart is no doubt playing Kevin Hart. That's all Kevin Hart does. I don't find his stand-up funny. He did make me chuckle here and there, but that's just from the script, not really from him. It didn't take him long to mention how short he was. You know, that's all of Kevin Hart's stand-up. He's short, he screams, so that's why I'm not a big fan of Kevin Hart. Now, like I told Sarah before we watched it, the only one I felt positive that was gonna give me a good performance was Karen Gillan, and I was right. She, you know, I love her as Amy from Doctor Who, but I didn't see her as Amy. I saw her as this character, and no, that's why Karen Gillan is obviously the best actor in this film out of the rest of them. You know, she actually made me believe what character she was playing. Nick Jonas, I don't know, man, he was alright. I mean, I had nothing bad to say about him. I mean, thank God he wasn't singing. But he was okay, I guess. The villain, I would say I didn't care for the actual villain of this movie. He's so, yeah, he doesn't do much. Apparently, his bugs crawl on his body. I don't know.
I thought that they didn't even need him in the movie.
Yeah,
What did he call? Yeah, I mean, they could have had the bikers chasing him, and that just could have been part of the game system. I don't think they really needed him in it.
One thing I think they messed up on is for the villain, because in the movie they do mention when Nick Jonas is living in his house, it says Alan Parrish was here. No, the original Alan Parrish was Robert Williams. So if this is supposed to be the same world Alan Parrish was, I think the main villain should have been the hunter from that movie. And we didn't get the hunter. We got some guy with a trench coat who has bugs in his body, and it's like, he's so stupid. It should have been the hunter.
The hunter was his dad. So in this one, they could have made this bad guy the principal or somebody. You know, somebody.
No, I'm not saying it has to be the thing, but the main bad guy of the film should have been a hunter because he was the one.
Well, I think that's what he was. I think they just did they did a poor aspect of it.
He didn't look like a hunter. He looked like just a goth. You know,
he did. He looked like a.
He looked like he belonged in a 90s techno club.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't look like he belonged in a jungle.
He did. I mean, if you look at the way he was dressed, he had the fucking trench coat. He had the black hair. He had it looked like fucking mascara smeared all over his fucking eyes or some shit. Like very fucking poor.
He looked like a superhero.
He doesn't work in this film, at least not for me.
He didn't. To me, he didn't look like a superhero. He just looked like a fucking jackass.
Super villain, superhero. That's what he looked like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He looked like a poor man's vampire.
Someone that didn't make the cut.
But overall, you know, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I did enjoy it. I do say I'm surprised. It was quite enjoyable. Like, there was never a moment really where I was like, I'm bored. I hate this. No, you know, and that's one thing. I kind of took it for what it was and not trying to compare it to the original, because I do think the original is better in certain aspects, but especially when it comes to story. But for what it is, it's not a bad film. You know, people are gonna enjoy it. They're gonna laugh at it. You know, it wasn't so bad.
But see, my whole thing too is that, you know, a lot of people are going to see it for, you know, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, or whatever, how they're however anybody wants to call him nowadays. The thing is that this is what I really had a problem with. Like I mentioned to other people before this movie ever came out, is that he always tends to do the same thing. He's a big guy. He goes in guns blazing, beating people up, doing the same kind of, cookie cutter stuff that he's always done throughout the years that, I've seen. And it gets pretty, boring.
Well, that's
what I felt like it was going to happen.
That's why I can't wait for The Rock in the remake of Forrest Gump.
well, that's my point when I said that I kind of knew what to expect from all the actors, except Karen. I knew The Rock was going to be The Rock. I knew Jack Black was going to be Jack Black. I knew Kevin Hart was going to be Kevin Hart. And that's pretty much what they give you. They give you themselves. So,
See, actually, I'm still waiting for The Rock to give me that great action movie. I'm waiting for Predator, Terminator. He's that kind of movies. I thought he was gonna be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He should.
And I haven't got that. I got Baywatch instead.
He is the next Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the twins Arnold Schwarzenegger, the last action hero Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
don't want that Schwarzenegger.
What do you call him?
I want Commando Schwarzenegger.
So you do have the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I would just like him to see him doing something completely different other than, always, being
Well,
another...
He has, but it's kind of boring. Like when he played
I
that.
don't think he fully puts his full potential.
Like when he played that gay guy in that one movie.
Get Shorty.
Yeah, I mean, I think The Rock just needs to focus on action films. But he needs to do good action films, not bad ones.
I know.
I'm looking forward to Rampage.
Well, I know you're looking forward to Rampage. When you first saw it, you're like, oh my god. And I was just like, okay.
Rampage. I can't wait for Burger Time.
Well, what'd you guys think about all the Easter eggs in the movie?
I thought they were awesome. I loved it.
I like the part that they said when he referred to himself in the third person. What was his name? The character in that movie?
Dr. Smolder Bravestone.
Yeah, Bravestone. And, of course, if anybody's a follower of The Rock or his WWE days, he calls himself The Rock in third person. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, as Easter eggs, I guess also that Alan Parrish was here. That was a little tribute to Robin Williams. I didn't care for Kevin Hart, doing the shtick, that he's short, and he's always angry and stuff like that. And they kind of threw that in there.
He always does it.
Yeah.
One thing I did like is when they panned out and showed the layout of the land, how it was actually
It's the game board.
Yeah, it's the game board, and that's what I really liked about it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
And they brought that little elephant piece.
Yeah, the elephant piece was one of my favorite parts that, mentioned the original. So, I mean, all the little Easter eggs there, I mean...
No, the one thing I did...
I like when he did the people's eyebrow.
He always
does
does
that in every movie.
He does not.
No.
I've been waiting to see him do that. He's not done that. And he fight it, and during the fight scene, he did a version. It wasn't the rock bottom, but he did a quick version of it.
Yeah, he did.
On topic with The Rock, what is it now with The Rock with helicopters?
Yeah, I
He
noticed
did
that.
San Andreas.
San Andreas,
He's on one in here, and in Rampage he's flying one again.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
He loves airplanes.
and The Rock must love helicopters now.
Yeah, helicopters.
Yeah, well, that's his chronicle. It's like Rambo and a machine gun.
He's only did it for that one movie. Now he's making it a trademark now.
Now, the one thing I miss from the old Jumanji is in the 1995 version, I believe. It occurs in our world, and I know the CGI back in then, it's a little shoddy compared to today's.
Oh yeah, especially the monkeys.
But yeah, but that was entertaining watching the monkeys take off on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
What do you call the vines growing through the house?
That looked pretty cool.
The lion, in the bedroom.
Thing is that the original, the one with Robin Williams,
That one played well.
It was a classic.
That's the one thing I kind of missed from this movie was that in the original, the board game.
I don't know about classic, but
No, the board
To me,
game.
it's a classic.
Yeah.
It holds a special place in my heart. Okay,
Yeah.
because I grew up with that.
Okay,
Right?
the board game was a real threat. It brought real threats to our world, and you could die. You did see people die in that movie. That woman got stung by a mosquito.
Yeah.
She died. And it was dangerous. In this movie, yeah, they have 3 lives, and sure, when you lose your last life, you die. But it didn't have the same impact as if you're in real life and then you get killed that one time and that's it. you're dead. You know, that's how it goes. And innocent bystanders were getting killed. Like I said, like I mentioned, the woman who got killed by the mosquitoes. You know, it's just you didn't get that from this movie. This movie, it's just them in a video game, so it's contained. So you lose some of that impact the original one had. You know, it wasn't as strong as it should have been. And
I mean, look at the original where they're in the, in that store when they're trying to get away from the hunter and everything else, and they're just going through everything.
One thing I thought this movie also kind of faltered on, that it didn't play on the whole jungle thing. They're in the jungle. It's called Welcome to the Jungle. But in the original one, what were they facing? They were facing killer plants, lions, monsoons, alligators, monkeys. This one, they're facing guys on motorcycles and a guy who controls.
Yeah,
There was a lack of animals in this movie.
This one didn't really seem like it's the jungle. We're not really facing anything in the jungle, so it's just like
that's the thing. I think the part when it came to the little city or the town, whatever it was, and then the guys on the motorcycles, and when Karen's character had to distract those other guys and everything else. To me, that's what kind of brought it down.
I mean, I understand they're trying to go for that video game vibe where you have to go to town and talk and get clues.
But you're in a jungle.
But
I did like that there's characters in there that, like, he said he's only going to say the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
They were non-players, that kind of guide you through a video game. So that made me feel like I remember so many times watching you guys play freaking Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts, and then you stop to somebody who says something, and then you walk away and you talk to somebody else, and you come back and you talk to the same guy who says the same exact thing you just said a minute ago.
Well, see, I don't mind that, but I mean, I just wish the jungle was more of a threat. It should have been more of a threat. It wasn't.
To me, the small town part actually reminded me of Rogue One.
Well, because it's all that.
That's what it reminded me of, and I agree. And this is why I didn't care for it in the trailer. I mean, I actually liked the movie, but in the trailer, I was like, hey, this has nothing to do with Jumanji. I mean, honestly, in this new movie, no monkey comes up. There's no monkey in this movie. Yeah. There's no lions.
I was actually kind of hoping to see a monkey.
The only animals you see are jaguars, hippos, rhinos, crocodiles.
But he makes a reference to, remember when he said a bunch of orangutans in a plane shot me down?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was another one.
That would have been kind of funny to see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have mind seeing a bunch of orangutans, flying planes or shooting a gun. That would have been kind of cool.
I mean, but it kind of threw me off. I don't know if it was because the whole Jack Black and being in the jungle, but I don't know why I kept going back to
Tropic Thunder.
Yes, Tropic Thunder.
Well, also when The Rock when he scores off with that big guy, I got a flashback of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
with the sword guy.
Yeah, there was a good amount of stuff that reminded me of Indiana Jones and Tropic Thunder because Jack Black.
And like I said, when they were doing that whole little cut scene for the video game, and he was actually taking the stone, that actually just reminded me of the mummy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When she took the book.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the trailer does not do the film justice at all. Because the trailer, I think it all threw us off. The trailer, we all kind of said oh, this movie's gonna suck. It doesn't look very good. But the movie wasn't that bad. It's just the trailer wasn't very good. And that's the one thing I always say. You can always tell if a movie's bad just from the trailer. Sometimes a movie comes out and it's just like it does fool you.
It's like Bill said when he first saw the preview. He was like, I hate the part where the hippopotamus eats him. And I was like, that's stupid. He would have been dead. Well, now we know he does die. What do you call?
Yeah.
If they would have explained that in the trailer, I think I would have been like, oh, okay, I get that. You would have so many lives.
Me and Sam here, right? We looked at each other and we said it has to be more than one life in a video game, right?
Yeah, or Jack Black dies in the very beginning. That was it for Jack Black. I mean, I do kind of like the whole video game thing. But like I told my brothers, one thing I find kind of shoddy about the story is that the whole thing is saying that people don't play board games anymore. It's not true. But they said, okay, people don't play board games. So you make it into a video game. But why did Jumanji choose to make it into an Atari-style video game? Is that going to attract young guys to play it? And most people are going to be like, what the hell is this garbage, and throw it away. It should have modeled it more modern looking and made it more of a modern console. And then I could really believe these kids are going to be like, oh, what's this? Let's check it out.
Yeah, but remember, the guy from 1996 was first playing.
Yeah, but the 96, that's the same thing. He's playing the PS1, and you want to tempt him with an Atari-looking console? I mean, like...
Well, you keep playing with all these old consoles?
I don't play the Atari. It's too old.
You would if it did have it.
Nah, I mean, I tried some...
Who doesn't want to play three-man football?
I tried some of the games. They're too primitive. I don't go further back than the NES. You know, but it's just me. I grew up with older games. You expect me to believe a younger generation is gonna want to go back? A lot of people don't even want to play the old games no more.
I, for one, is still waiting for Pong.
The only kind of Atari game that I've ever played was the plug and play, where you just plug it in, you have a selection of games on there, and like choose from there.
I mean, I just think the whole concept is they don't play board games because it's old. So why make a retro console? It's old still.
And
It made more sense to make it new.
The way they present, older things, like older technology to, newer generations, you think that some of these kids would not know a fucking clue on how to actually operate any of it.
That's probably actually kind of a thing you could say, because when you see young kids today on YouTube messing with older consoles, they don't even know how to work it.
They look at a VHS tape and they're all wondering, what the hell is this?
How did these young kids even know how to start up this damn console?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what kind of threw me off too.
They would have been like, what's this?
You think that they would have the game a little bit more modern.
They should show them blowing into it.
They wouldn't know how to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. What did you guys think of the actual action of the film?
It's alright.
It was alright.
It was
I mean,
okay.
The movie is what it is. The
No.
movie is entertaining. You want to see a movie for 2 hours, you can watch it, you be entertained, you get your money's worth. But are you gonna come out? You know, oh man, I can't wait for part 2.
Amazing.
Nah, you're not gonna get
I
that.
didn't think it bogged down. Like there wasn't like times where it slowed down too much. Even when
It did make me laugh. My favorite part of the movie is when they try to kiss.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God, that
So
one.
I mean, even then when there's a break in the fight scene or the adventure, and they kind of go into this little sappy love thing, even then that was kind of humorous and comedy. So I thought it flowed okay. Like, there could have been a little bit more action, more animals, but I didn't bog down.
Yeah, to me, it could have had more action, but I didn't walk away feeling.
Wait for the sequel.
No, I didn't walk away feeling like I didn't get enough, or I didn't walk away feeling like Fast and the Furious, where like this is way too over the top. It's stupid, and I can't get into it.
Well, yeah, because we gotta
I didn't get
remember
that from
they're
this.
in a video game.
Yeah, I know, but even
Yeah.
but even in a video game,
And if-
this
it-
seems
it-
more real than
Yeah.
anything Fast and the Furious does.
Yeah, I know, it does.
So it's like.
I would agree with
It's
that.
hard.
See, but like when he's in the in the helicopter trying to fix it,
Yeah.
I can buy it because I know they're in a video game.
Yeah.
Now, if it was real live,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, oh, it's stupid,
That mother-
man.
That mother would have gone chopped
Yeah.
up.
But because they're in a video game,
Well, see,
I can
but
buy it.
Overall, the movie, judging it, if it's not based on the original movie or the book, just as a movie itself, it's not a bad movie. A group of kids, they end up in detention. They find an old console. They play. They get sucked in.
Then that kind of make you feel like you're watching the Breakfast Club.
Kind of.
Further.
It did.
But I don't mind the plot. They get sucked into a game. They have to play it. It kind of reminds me of the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark when that kid gets stuck in the
Yeah.
pinball machine.
I like
But
that episode.
it's the story's okay. Yeah, it's lacking a villain. The villain's unmemorable. But the concept of being in the game, them having weaknesses and strength and 3 lives, it all kind of works. But when you compare it to the original, you kind of lose. Like I said, you lose the actual danger of what the original gave you.
The monkeys.
It just wasn't. It wasn't there.
They lose some of the charm.
Yeah,
It does. And also, I do think in the original film, the board game itself is almost like a character. You see it all the time. You see the pieces moving. You read what it's saying. And this one, you don't see the console.
Well,
or
no,
the game
that-
all times. You
Yeah.
never see it.
You fear like Robin Williams, like when things happen, he gets all scared or paranoid because he knows it's coming.
Yeah.
Because he was stuck in the jungle for I don't know how many years.
Well, he was
so,
trying to survive.
So
that
he's believable when he's like, run, I know what's coming, or the stampede or whatever. Or he's terrified when the hunter's after him.
Yeah.
And this one, you didn't get that sense that they were, other than maybe the Jaguars, they didn't seem terrified.
Didn't get that.
That too, because this movie kind of shows it like when something's coming, it plays the drums.
Yeah.
But in the original one, it only played the drums to get your attention. But what made the fear in that one was like you read what it says, and then all of a sudden you hear something from the distance. And you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's a lion there or mosquitoes,
And
whatever.
that's what-
All the spiders. I think the fear of them moving the piece and not knowing what's gonna come out next is more terrifying than okay, well, I'm hearing some drums and now we gotta run. It's just like okay,
And that's what
it's
I
not.
liked
It
about
doesn't work
the
as well.
original, is that you could tell they had that fear in their eyes when they just held the dice and they were just like, I don't want to do this, but I have to finish the game because they're already so far into it.
Yeah.
So having that, them being so scared of just rolling a pair of, dice or whatever,
I know.
want that.
Apparently, some people have a problem. I read right now. They have a problem with the ending. They're saying that there's a big time paradox because we also saw the original, and like
Yeah.
what I told Sarah that I think if they follow the original, once
It
they
should
beat the game, it should have went back to 1996 where he was at.
It was 96,
I think so.
Right?
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
It should have been back there, but people were saying, okay, so if he went back and everything was different, how did the console still end up at the school? And it kind of creates a time paradox, you
Yeah.
know? And you know, it's kind of, it doesn't kill the film for me, but it is kind of weird. I kind of wish they did the original way where it all went back to the first player,
Yeah.
which was Alan Parrish and
And that's what I was
forgot her name.
Yeah.
hoping for.
No.
Yeah.
It should have went back to 96 and eventually maybe he meets them again. But I mean, you know, the original one, that's kind of cheesy all of a sudden. You know, but that was kind of cheesy, the original.
But the thing is, the way this movie's made compared to, like, say, the other one, if they would have reverted back, the black guy, the Kevin Hart's character, you know,
You would have been their dad's boss.
he still would have been a jerk to the nerd, you know,
Yeah.
and the nerd wouldn't have been,
Yeah,
you know, and the girl would have still been a prima
but
donna.
I think that's what they were trying to go for, so that way they all change. But you
I would
know,
have just watched the Breakfast Club for that crap.
yeah, kind of. I do miss the kind of the fear aspect, the original.
Yeah.
This one doesn't have it, and the game is not as creepy as just the board game. The way it looks, it draws the pieces in and they move by themselves. You know, the board was cool. The board was a really cool thing in the movie. This one doesn't have it. It just has that weird looking console, which you see like once, and you never see it again. So it's like,
Yeah. And
oh.
it's like, okay.
But overall, no, I didn't hate it. Surprisingly, in a review, we didn't hate a movie. Usually we hate a lot of movies,
I mean,
modern movies.
And this movie had Kevin Hart
Yeah.
and Jack Black in it.
Yeah.
it's surprising. And
Well,
the
to be
thing
fair, I don't
is-
hate Jack Black like
Too.
Bill
I
does.
do.
Yeah, I don't really hate Jack Black.
But I don't like Kevin Hart that much.
But
Not as
the
a
thing
person,
is-
but as a comedian.
is that for this movie, for it to be standalone on its own, for a newer generation to bring in more fans for the Jumanji name, I think it did pretty okay.
Well, speaking of that, I don't think this movie had to been called Jumanji. It could have been called something else, and I think it would have stood up on its own.
Lost in Paradise.
It could have been something else, but obviously it has the name Jumanji just to marketing wise.
Marketing.
That's what it's really called Jumanji for. It didn't need the Jumanji thing in there.
But I think had you watched the movie, you would have walked away and said, "This movie's a lot like Jumanji." What they call
Yeah.
it? It would have. You still would have made the comparisons, you know, even if they didn't
Yeah.
call it that.
Well, I think if they didn't call it Jumanji, I probably would have thought more of like Tron, you know, being stuck into a video game.
That too.
But I mean, overall, it's not a bad film. It's okay. I mean, if you're expecting great acting from people like Kevin Hart, you're not gonna get that. You're gonna get Kevin Hart playing Kevin Hart, you know. But him, you should just be used to that by now. That's all he does, you know. And you know, that's pretty much the same for all of them. I walked away with this film actually somewhat enjoying it. I don't know if I'll be the person to go rush out and buy it, but if I have to watch it again, you know, I don't mind sitting down.
If it came out on
Watch it
TNT,
again.
you wouldn't mind
Yeah,
sitting there watching it.
maybe, you know, then I wouldn't automatically change the channel and be like, yeah, this part's funny or this part's whatever. You know, it had its moments, it had parts. I can't really think of anything that I really hated in the film. It's not the greatest film, but it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I think it's one of the rare times you're gonna see a review where we actually like a movie. See, I told you we don't always hate movies. There you go. It seems like we always hate movies. Well, I mean, come on, Star Wars, that was a shitty movie. Anyways, what do you call
I mean, wait till Rampage the review.
Rampage
Oh, God.
review? But overall,
Another rock movie.
I think we all came away thinking we're gonna hate the movie, and we actually liked the movie.
That's a good thing. 'Cause, you know, with Star Wars, I didn't want to hate it. You know, I came in with my expectations.
I know. I wanted to love it.
I put my expectations really low, and it still couldn't meet that. So that's why that film was bad. But this one, you know, I came in and said, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm not gonna compare it to the original. I'm just gonna take it for what it is and
Yeah.
see how it does. You know, and it did pretty well. You know, to me, no.
And-
At first, I was seeing reviews, people saying that they loved it. I'm like, really, this film? But then
Yeah,
now I
I forgot.
I understand. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's decent.
I mean, when I first heard about, this Jumanji movie, getting
I'm not looking forward
revamp
to it.
or however you want to call it towards it, I did not want anything to do with this movie. Like I told other people before, it's gonna be complete garbage. It's gonna be complete trash. I don't want anything to do with it because I love the original so much. But I guess I'm kind of okay, you know, seeing it and walking away with like, okay, it's not such a bad film.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what can I say?
So I say overall, I think we all recommend that this is an enjoyable movie. If you get a chance to see it, you'll be well entertained, and I think y'all walk away enjoying it. I don't see much of y'all trashing the movie or finding a lot of problems with it. I mean, there's always gonna be a hater who hates, so I mean that's just the way it goes. But overall, I think most people are gonna be pleasantly surprised, and I think if you look at Rotten Tomatoes, it gives it a fair
It was
review.
It was pretty high. Out of 5 stars, what do you give it?
I would give it about a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
I would give it a 4.
And I would give it 4 Robin Williams.
Oh god, you and Robin Williams.
That's what I would give it.
I don't know what I give this one.
I'm gonna give you a huge kick in the ass if you don't decide.
You want to give it a 2 is what you want to give it.
It's not low enough to deserve a 2.
It's not low enough, okay?
But I don't know if it's high enough to deserve a 4 either.
That would make it a 3.
No, I'm gonna say about 3.5 stars. Because you know, it didn't have the complete effect I liked in the original one. The fear factor wasn't there. You know, the actors weren't as good as Robert Williams and like that. You know, but
So
except Karen, she was great.
So you're saying that it could have used a little improvement here and there?
Yeah,
You could have used a dash of salt.
it could use more danger, which was probably what it
More animals.
should have needed. But you know, again, overall, good movie. Don't hate it. Surprisingly, don't hate it.
I'm still kind of upset about the monkeys.
Well, our next Rock review should be Rampage coming up. You know.
No, we gotta watch all the Fast and Furious
Now it's
movies.
gonna have a gorilla.
Everything that has a
Oh
rocket.
hell no! I'm not gonna sit there. And...
Our next review will be the
Bill,
Tooth
we're
Fairy.
watching Toxie
No,
instead.
God.
I'd rather watch Toxie instead of Fast and the Furious.
All right. So overall, everyone pretty much likes it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to our take on Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Have you seen it yet? If you have, did you like it? Did you hate it? Was there anything that we didn't bring up that maybe you thought of? Go ahead and write in the comments and let us know if you liked it or if you hated it. That's pretty much it for us at Night at the Round Table. This is Sam,
This is Ray.
This is Will.
Sarah,
Ooh.
go fuck yourself.
and we'll catch you guys in the next one.